Dan Larson here, and I'm at the Photobooth to take a look at some of the stuff I picked up at the flea markets this past weekend. Flea market season is quickly drawing to a close. I don't know how many more of these videos I'm going to have. Hopefully there'll be something to substitute for it through the wintertime, but for now we'll just appreciate what we have. First up, we've got a couple more Boba Fetts here. The collection, the Boba Sett grows larger and larger. If you haven't already, please take a minute to check out our Boba Sett documentary that we created that features why I collect these figures, why I like them so much, and how many of them I have. Currently, the count is at 140 with these two guys, but I think you'd definitely like to take a look at these videos. These are both in really good condition. A little bit of paint loss here on this one. This guy's actually in really, really nice shape. I think we've got a Hong Kong and a Taiwan. No, we're both Hong Kongs. So he's got the little bit more bluish kind of look to him there, but both really nice figures. After that, we've got these figures. I don't know. These are weird. I've never seen these guys before. They say they're from 1990, and you know they're actually officially licensed. I was shocked when I picked these up and saw that they actually say Lucasfilm. Well, they say LFL 1990 made in China on them here, but they are absolutely terrible. They are just abysmal, horrible looking figures that I really don't know. I really don't know how these got made, honestly. You know, they're part of the, from what I could gather, they're part of the Star Tours line of figures. I guess they were available at the theme park with the rides that were there. I've never been to Star Tours. I haven't been to Disney in a long time, actually, either. But these are just hunky, you know, PVC, non-posable. They kind of feel like they were modeled after the action figures. I mean, the Stormtrooper straight up feels like they just took an old Stormtrooper, moved his arms forward a little, you know, molded him and cast him, and then when they took him out, painted him black, and for some reason painted the top of his head gray. They're totally not posable at all. Chewbacca, I don't know, he looks like he was molded maybe from a bendy figure or something. Really not sure. But these guys look like they came from Droids, the cartoon, and then, you know, other than the color being totally wrong on this, they're just, I don't know, they're just weird. I had to grab them because they're so weird. You never know, you know, what things are going to be, and those guys were just plain weird, so I grabbed them. We've got Winston Zeddemore from Kenner's Ghostbusters line. Pretty good condition. He's missing some paint here and there, but he's got that sort of tackiness that the old figures get sometimes, but nothing a little bit of hot water and dish soap can't take care of. We've also got a couple of Mego figures here, both from 1979. This is Kate McRae from the Black Hole movie, another Disney product. Good condition. These figures tend to always have busted thumbs, and a lot of times their O-rings are pretty loose, but I believe you can take them apart and fix them just like G.I. Joe guys. Not an exciting action figure. I honestly, as far as the movie's concerned, you know what? I haven't seen it in probably over 2 decades. I know I saw it when I was a kid, but haven't seen it since then, so I can't really say much about how exciting the character is in the film. But what I did learn in taking a look at a few websites to make sure I had her name right and everything is that this O-ring waist is called a nested joint. Nested. Hinge. Pivot. Nested. Good to know. This is also from Mego, 1979. She's called the figure is called Ardella for some reason. But the character on the show was actually Princess Ardala. I don't know, there's probably a story behind that. In my very, very quick perusal of the web, I didn't find the story behind that. I'm going to assume it's one of those things where the character wasn't really set in stone yet. They had to get working on the action figures, they had to get working on the card art, and somebody had a typo, nobody knew what it was actually supposed to be called, and the rest is history. Over here we've got Adventure People, Fisher-Price. You know what, I think this whole collection of stuff that I grabbed from this guy was all from 1979. I believe Clautron here from the Adventure People is also from somewhere around 1979. He's a pretty cool figure. Pretty much everybody who was a kid at the time had these. He's obviously He's got a reused motorcycle rider helmet there, but you know, they painted him up, gave him some clamps, some claws for hands, and presto chango, you've got an alien robot. His chest here is always scratched off, so this one's actually in really, really nice condition. So I couldn't let him stay at the flea market any longer. Here we've got a Ben 10 forearms. I think actually the last video I did here, we had a forearms figure in the booth, so that's weird. Again, I don't know much about the show. I'll have to get around to watching some of the episodes here sooner or later, but I really dig the design, and these are cool figures with pretty good articulation. And they could go for a little bit of a shoulder pivot here, would go a long ways on this guy, but I don't really care. There's no arm swivel either. But cool figures. I'm guessing they weren't very expensive either when they were new. Over here we've got some Marx. These are from the 60s, I believe. Yeah, 64. Some cowboys and Native Americans. Hopefully these guys to stand up. Sometimes they bend. Sometimes they're warped over time, and tendency not to stand. They got pretty good bases here, and they all stand up pretty well. This guy's bow and arrow are always busted, so it's nice to see that that's fully intact. He's even got a little feather on his head. His spear's looking great. His guns are there, a little bent, but the detail on these things is actually pretty astounding. And I don't know if their intent was to be painted, but I feel like they'd make really, really fantastic painted versions. I know I've seen some custom paint jobs on these things, and some of the other characters. They did spacemen, army guys, Marvel characters, all kinds of stuff. There's even a little detail all on his belt here, all the little pieces of the leather. Anyway, those guys are pretty cool. In the back here we've got Triple Changer Astrotrain. It's just Astrotrain, I don't know what to tell you. I got him for a pretty good price. He was just in a basket with a bunch of trolls. So I was like, hey, that's Astrotrain, I'm gonna grab that guy. Stickers look like they were pretty crappily, I think is that the appropriate term, crappily applied. I don't know why anybody would need this many Decepticon logos on here. I wonder what the rub symbol is. He's only got 5 Decepticon logos showing here. I'm gonna go with this as a Decepticon logo too. Let me see if I can get it to activate real quick. Trying. It's Decepticon. Who knew? I never had Astrotrain as a kid. I preferred Blitzwing, and it was the kind of thing where you were only going to get one, and I had to spread my collection out. I also like G.I. Joe and He-Man and Star Wars and all that other stuff. So it's like if I'm going to go in and only get one triple changer, you're going to use up a birthday or a Christmas slot. I would go with Blitzwing because robot, tank, jet trumps space shuttle, robot, train any day of the week. In the back here, I'm going to move some of these guys out of the way. In the back here, we've got this, excuse me, this was actually unopened. As far as I can tell, this is original factory tape on the side, and it's not broken. As exciting as that is for something like this, the Kenner Aliens hover tread vehicle. Not a line I cared about when it was out. My younger brother was into it. He was more in the age range for this thing at the time. But it was interesting because we do have a video where we featured the 10 R-rated toy lines for kids, and obviously Aliens made the list. So, neat thing. We also have the Micronauts Hornetroid, which I'm not a big Micronauts guy. Whoa, Darth Vader. I don't really know much about Micronauts other than its sort of history coming from Japan. Alright, Vader, just lay down for a sec then. This, it's made by Mego. It's cool that the original box is here, even though it is pretty beat up. It's still a nice piece of artwork on there. But, yeah, this box didn't... it's nice that it survived in the condition that it's in, but it is beat. And then inside here... I think all the pieces are here. Some of them are broken, unfortunately. It's made of a pretty cheap sort of model-style plastic. That antenna's busted off, but, overall it's pretty clean. Looks like the wings and everything are in here. A bunch of parts and stuff. Since I'm not really a Micronauts guy myself, this is likely a piece that I will end up trading to a fellow collector I know that is pretty big into Micronauts, and he's always looking for parts for those kinds of things. So, last up, let's see if I can reframe this a bit here. Last up is 15-inch vintage 1979 again, Darth Vader. I've had this figure before, traded, sold, what have you. This is the best condition one I've ever seen. He actually has his lightsaber. There's no bend to it whatsoever. Really, really looks great. All the paint on his buttons, on his chest here. Arms are loose. They're always loose. You just can't get them to stay out. I don't know if there's a fix for that. I haven't really looked it up yet, but his cape is just absolutely fantastic. The hem looks great, the ties look great. There's a little bit of a hole. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that right there. There's a little bit of a hole in this cape, but other than that, I mean, sometimes the plastic gets melty. I don't know, this one is just, this one's just gorgeous. Absolutely good stuff there. I was really happy to grab that. And then the last piece I grabbed here, also from our 10 toy lines, 10 R-rated lines for kids was Rambo, and I'm a big fan of the old toy guns and stuff, and this one actually has the Rambo sticker on it. Not sure who the manufacturer is. Oh, it's 1984 Remco here. It's actually electronic. It has machine gun sounds. You can go from single fire to auto fire. It does work, but I don't have the battery cover here, so the battery has a tendency to just fall right out of there. You know what? I didn't prepare, so I don't have a battery on me right now. But I have a little arsenal of plastic guns and stuff, and so I couldn't pass that up. Anyway, we're gonna put Vader back up in frame here. That's pretty much everything I got at the flea market this weekend, so thanks for watching. And hey, I get new stuff all the time, and you don't want to miss out on this or other videos, so please take a second, click subscribe, and know that it's genuinely appreciated. Thanks. Later.